Alright, let's take a look at the parameters for the indicator. I'm going to go ahead and close all these out. Hit the close button on ChartTrader. Let's go ahead and take a look at the parameters into the indicator itself. So I'm going to right click on chart, left click on indicators, and right here we can see first thing you do have is your account name. So go ahead and click on this and you should see all of the accounts that are in your system right now. So feel free to change that. I mentioned the ticks on limit, ticks on stop. Again, this is you can mouse over these and you will get a little description there popping up. Now the ATM strategy is an optional. It's a select which ATM strategy name to use. Let's see if we can get that to come back. All stops and targets will be controlled by the ATM strategy template. So if you put in the name of your strategy template here, then really there is no use of the risk percent or the stop loss values of trade calculator because all the stops and targets are handled by your ATM strategy template. So that's one way to launch an ATM strategy template from trade calculator. Now we went over the ratios here, which is the risk-reward ratio. So the reward to risk is 1.5 to 1. These are obviously editable to whatever value you see fit, 1.0, whatever. That's a numerical input. Another one here is the quantity to get out of, the exit quantity at target 1. So this is going to be 50% of the position will be out at T1, 30% of the position will be out at T2, and the rest we don't have any value for. Risk parameters. So here is the same things that you see. This one you saw on the actual button itself. So you're able to set that here if you want to do a default value. You can set that there and then set those defaults as an indicator template down here in this interface. The account balance, as I mentioned, was 10,000. So here now is max contracts and min contracts. So if you're not comfortable with going over 3 contracts, you just put that there, and no matter what what the calculation shows, or whatever calculation is given, your max traded contracts will be 3 in position in this situation. So you can increase that or decrease that, whatever you want. If you want to risk more than what trade calculator is giving you, you can set this value to 2 or 3 or 23. Now this again is the H-line tag. Let's say you want to have a tag of open price. So this means that only horizontal lines that have the words open price without a space in between, no space, that is the key tag, the tag that will connect the indicator to that horizontal line. It'll ignore all other horizontal lines that don't have that value in it. Okay, so here is another good point, and this is the initial stop ticks. So that is the way on the button for the stop and ticks value, and we also have the initial setting here for the stop ATR multiplier, and that was the other stop loss method on the button itself. Okay, with visual options, you can show the entry price line. I showed that it has an entry line on there. You can turn off that entry line. This is the maximum length for that entry line, and this is the marker opacity. So when you saw the target and stop loss markers and their lines, they were 50% opaque. So they were halfway transparent. So you can set that or increase that to make it lighter or darker. Input series is standard. Setup is standard. Those aren't anything new there. And also all these are just the customary standard ones that come with every NinjaTrader indicator. They're really not useful for this indicator, so you can just probably shrink up these guys. And that's it. Those are the parameters that are into this indicator.